you ready to raise your game at Fort Union Military Academy? Sometimes described as the West Point of high schools, Fort Union is a leading college preparatory Christian boarding school for young men grounded in the structure of discipline of the traditional military academy model, and scholarships are available. Fort Union Military Academy's athletic program has produced hundreds of college and professional athletes, including 6 Olympians, 2 Heisman Trophy winners, and more than 120 NFL players. Fort Union Military Academy is a private school and is independent of any direct military affiliation or obligation. Schedule a tour and get started on your journey today by visiting fortunion.com. Fort Union Military Academy. Body, mind, spirit. Welcome to the Goal Podcast, the podcast for serious soccer players and their supporters to help further their development and navigate their way throughout their soccer career.
Welcome into another episode of New England Soccer Journal's The Goal Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Langone, joined in studio, as always, by our own Matt Doherty. And Matt, we're back. It's been a while. It's been a little bit of a holiday hiatus, but we're back in action here.
It's been way too long, Matt. It's good to see you in person. No more remote. Yeah.
Remote just doesn't
Thank
have
God.
the vibes just aren't as good when it's remote. And it's 2026. We're back in studio. We're going to have a year full of great podcasts. We got a tanned Matt Doherty after his trip to
Sunburn.
to Florida.
If the camera can pan in on my forehead right now.
Sunburned.
I'm peeling a little bit.
Yeah, you got to get that sunscreen, man. You got to remember
I did
that
on
sunscreen.
Sunday. Saturday I got torched, and then Monday it was kind of windy out and a little cloudy in the morning. So I was like,
deceptive.
And
yeah,
it was a shorter day because
Yeah.
that's the getaway day. So I was like, I don't need sunblock today, and I did need sunblock. My nose is red. I had some coaches, come up to me at the event and like, Doherty, why didn't you put sunblock on? Like, what's going on here? So yeah, and the problem is I didn't learn from last year. The same thing happened, so I didn't learn from my mistakes.
David, do you think he looks tan or burned? What do you think?
Well, I think it's better now. You should have seen me Monday at the airport. It was brutal.
It's like a nice butterscotch flavor.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
By Saturday, it's going to be perfect.
Oh, it's gonna be great, and then it's gonna go away because it's January, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be snowing or whatever. But the tan is a good place to start because that's what we're going to talk about today. Is kind of your trip down to Florida for the ECNL Florida National Showcase, the ECNL girls. We've been going there now for a few years. You or I have kind of been alternating. I feel like have you gone 2 years in a row now?
2 years.
2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And I think I went 2 years before that. But it's always a great event and kind of a good stage setter for the spring and what's going to happen this year and who's strong and who's going to make some noise. So just real quick, how was the trip down there? How was the action? Was it pretty good?
Yeah, everything went well. I think it's a great event to go to sort of get a good look at what's going on this spring. Like, so we can be prepared for the players, for the teams to kind of know, who's on what team. There's also club movement in the off season.
Mm-hmm.
Players leave clubs, join other clubs. So I think just seeing how these teams operate, seeing who's on the rosters, seeing how they play together, it's just a really good data point for us to do our work for the next couple of months. And then, I thought the soccer was good. I mean, I think it was a good atmosphere as usual. A ton of basically every college coach you could imagine was there. Well attended too. I feel like every game I went to was crowded, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
Parents, family, coaches, media, like us were there. It was a good day. A lot of walking around. Like, I feel like I saw more games this year than last year.
Yeah, you got your steps in.
I got my steps in. It was also like, that's the one thing is like, when I'm doing my standouts, it's like you see parts of every game. Sometimes I wish I could just watch a full game because you really get to see that over the course of 80 minutes of who the best players are. Sometimes when you're watching 20, 30 minutes, then you have to go to another game. You don't get to see someone fully. I did feel like I saw every team twice, usually for about a half. So that adds up to a full game.
Yeah.
But, in Florida, they're also rotating players out. It's not like, they'll do like half the team plays the first half, or the first half of a half, then they'll bring in like 7 new players. So I think I got enough, and it was fun and it was good soccer, so I can't complain. It's just that's a caveat when doing the standouts. It's like, I did miss some things, obviously,
right.
Which is a little bit of a bummer, but I feel like I saw what I needed to see and got some good knowledge from the event.
Right, and it balances out over the course of the season. I feel like we will look to get, shine the light on as many great players as we can at all platforms. But I view the Florida event as almost like a necessity for us, like you said, because it allows us to come off of that high school and prep season, where we saw a lot of soccer from September to November. And then, the holidays come in and everyone's kind of taking a break. MLS Next has their big fest in December, and Girls Academy has a big winter showcase in December. But it's a funny time of the year because you have those showcases, but then it's back to New England and it's freezing, and there might be some indoor trainings, and these teams aren't a finished product yet. Their league schedules are going to ramp up in March for the most part. So now there's going to be a bit of downtime for a lot of these programs. But what would you say? I know you've written a bunch of content on soccerjournal.com already from your time down in Florida. We'll have more coming, obviously with standouts and takeaways, and I know you'll have your best of the best that you always do. What was kind of if you had to knock it down to, like, I know you did a story with 8 takeaways, I believe, but what was, like, of those 8 takeaways that you wrote about on soccerjournal.com, what was the biggest takeaway, you think?
The biggest takeaway was the 2010 age group. I felt like the quality of teams in New England in that region was really strong. I think, last year we focused a lot on class of 2027. Like, that was kind of our main group. Yeah. Those were the uncommitted players with the recruiting period opening. So this year, going to Florida, I was like, I really want to see the class of 2028 and 2029, which is the 2010 group. So I focused most of my attention on that age group, and I felt like there's a lot of good New England teams in that age group, probably stronger than any other age group right now. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I felt like that was just that's going to be a fun league battle to watch in the spring. I think obviously you have FC Stars Blue, which won the league last year at that age level, absolutely loaded at all 3 levels, and made the national finals last year. Like, they're probably the team to beat. But then outside New England, you have world class and Sousa, which is really good at that level. And then the CFC, Connecticut FC 2010 team is probably the group that impressed me the most, a team that I wasn't too familiar with. And watching, I saw them play twice, and they're really good. So I think, like, adding them to the mix. I thought Select 2010 was really good. They went undefeated, didn't allow a goal, have some talent all over the field as well. And then you have Scorpions, which was second in the league last year, made the national playoffs, nearly made the national finals. So that age group, like, that's 6 teams right there, and there's only 2 spots that are making the playoffs. So those games, I think, are going to be really intense throughout the season, and kind of who's going to emerge from those powers and be the team that represents New England in the playoffs.
Right. And, we mentioned that you touched on kind of the recruiting opportunities that come about at these showcases. And, a lot of the class of 2026 players are committed already. There's obviously some that are still looking to find their college home. The 2027s, this was a big one for them because they're still, in their junior year of high school. So they're still kind of, a lot of them figuring it out. A lot of them have committed. But those 2028s, I mean, this is like a big time for them because their time is coming. It's, June 15th is still a ways away when they can really open up their recruitment window and make their commitments. But do you feel like it's going to be with that? Did you learn enough to know if with that class year, is it going to be a pretty, are the commitments going to come fast and furious, you think, this summer once that opens?
So I've done 2 standouts from that age group, the forwards and defenders so far. A lot of them when we go to Florida next year, like, they're already going to be committed. That was kind of what I gathered from that. I mean, obviously the class of 2029, made up some of those standouts too. They're still a year and a half away from being able to commit. But yeah, I think the 2028 class, like, this is their showcase to really put themselves on the map. And I assume, next summer, like, we're going to start getting commitments from a lot of those players. So that was kind of why I wanted to really focus on them. And granted, like, we've heard the names and we know the names from the clubs, but I haven't seen a lot of those players play live. So I think I really wanted to emphasize that and watch them. And I think it's a really deep class. Like I was saying before we came in the year, like, if I had to pick, like, who the best player was from 2028, I'm not sure right now. Like, I think I still need to see a lot of the players, but I think the top level is very deep, and I think it also is spread out across the clubs. I think that was one of my biggest takeaways as well. So I'm really excited to delve into that new group. I think that was sort of my biggest takeaway from Florida.
Yeah, and kind of the game within the game down there at these things is like seeing how the New England clubs stack up against the country's best teams. You know, some of these places where, you know, they can play soccer year round in some of these warm weather states. So, in my experience is that the New England clubs have done really well down there. I mean, did you feel like the team results, and I know we'll put the disclaimer out, I know a lot of club coaches and directors don't really care so much about the results down there necessarily, but did you feel like they stacked up, the New England team stacked up pretty well with the competition they were facing?
Yeah, I felt that. I mean, I think everyone's playing a different schedule, so like it's based on how you finished last year. So like Stars Blue won the league, like they're going to play a tougher schedule than a team that finished fifth in the league. But yeah, I mean, I like Stars Blue went 3-0, Select went 3-0, and Select didn't finish as high as the Stars, so they had an easier schedule. But it also shows that like, okay, they're better than where they were last year, the way they controlled their games. CFC won 2 games. You know, Scorpions won a game. Went 1-1-1. I think Stars White went 1-1-1. So everyone had a pretty good showcase from what I saw. And, you know, obviously watching them, you know, it's not like, oh, they were overmatched. Like, you know, I think the CFC, Stars Blue, both those, and Select, like all 3 of those teams kind of controlled all 3 of their matches that I saw. So I thought that was a really good sign. But, you know, it's different. Once you get into the league, like that all kind of goes out the window.
Right.
But for Florida, yeah, to answer your question.
How let's zoom in on Select right now. How does the club seem to be shaping up this year? This is year 2 in ECNL after moving over from Girls Academy. What's the theme you're getting from that club? I mean, do they feel like this is going to be an improvement from last year? Do they feel good about where they are, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they did do well in Florida last year, a lot of their teams. So, you know, it's hard to tell exactly how big of a jump they'll take, but I think they will take a jump. I mean, the thing about their teams is that it's not like they bottomed out last year. Like, they were just kind of in the middle, and they had some of their younger teams qualified for the playoffs, and the other teams were like, you know, right in that 4 to 6 range. So it wasn't like they were, you know, in the bottom of the league and not winning games. Like, they held their own and competed and won some good games as well. So I expect them to take another jump, right? Second year, like, you're more comfortable, you know the other teams, you know what you need. They added some new players from other clubs, like, and I think Select, you know, they have really good individual talent, like at all levels across, you know, their 07-08 teams, but the 09 team like has Kelsey Tuttle, who's committed to Louisville, Taylor Bello committed to UConn, like Celia Fasoli, we've talked a lot about, like, she's nasty, she's on that team. And then the 2010 team, you know, I saw them for the first time, and they were good last year too. So I expect Select to take another leap forward this year and battle for some playoff spots. And I mean, they have too much talent on their rosters to like finish 1-15. Like, they're not that team. They're like, you know, in the middle and competing for playoff spots. So I expect them to also, they have a good coaching staff, like, be more comfortable in year 2 for sure.
You mentioned earlier Connecticut FC impressing you.
Yeah.
Was that, I don't know if you want to label it a surprise, because, like, you know, it's January and we're seeing some of these teams for the first time, but this was CFC, somebody that kind of turned your head and was like, oh, this team might be able to compete in the table this year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. They were probably the team that, you know, stood out the most, because, you know, Stars Blue 2010s, like, we're expecting them to be good. It's not like we know that they're a good team. So I think CFC, yeah, I think they have talent. Like, they have a lot of talent on the team. I think that was my biggest takeaway. And they beat World Class to start the year in December, which is an annual power in the New England Conference. So that result right there already turns heads. And then in Florida, you know, I just like the way they play. They're a very possession-based team. They are always looking to attack. They play on the front foot and sort of play an aggressive but measured style of soccer. So, you know, in the 2 games, I did miss their loss. They lost 2-1 the first game against a good team. And then I watched their next 2 games. They won 4-2 both games, and just kind of controlling play and creating a lot of opportunities. So, and even talking to some other coaches around the league, they're like, yeah, they're going to be right there this year. So that's a really good team that I was excited to see. And even like their 09s did not have a good showcase, but I mean, they have eight Division I commits in their starting lineup. So it's not like that club is no stranger to producing like high level players. Like, they do have that. And the 2010 team, I can think of 5 Division I players that I saw that will be Division I players right off the bat. So they'll be a factor this year, and I think that was something that I wasn't sure about heading into the season.
Right. In terms of the weather, I know it was hot down there. I think you said like 80 and sunny, which sounds phenomenal. I mean, that
weather,
sounds
yeah.
about as good as you can expect. I mean, for you or I watching, great. Playing in it is a different story. I mean, that's a lot of heat when you're coming from, where it's 30 degrees and cloudy all the time. But how do you feel like the players handled the elements? I mean, was that the coaches say anything about that? Because that's always the battle, too, to go down there and play in that heat and play in that sun.
Yeah, no one said anything.
Yeah.
I think it was probably a nice thing.
Yeah.
Being in the cold.
Yeah.
I did get hot on the sidelines sometimes, so I'm sure that there was some.
You were pounding the Gatorade, refilling those electrolytes,
water,
just water.
But yeah, I know I didn't see any effects, and I think there were some players, and some of the players I put as standouts were players who didn't leave the field.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of those 2010 defenders that I highlighted, they would sub out. Other people would sub out. They never left the field. So to have that stamina and fitness at this time of the year is a real asset. And
Right.
college coaches look at that.
Right.
They're playing the full 80 because these are 40-minute games at the showcase. But that's a big separator when it comes to recruiting, and it shows that the last couple of months have been taking care of their body, and especially in December where there was no high school's been off for almost 2 months now. So it's they're ready to go. They're in game shape. And I think I saw that a lot, especially from the defenders on the New England side.
Were there any matches you watched that had a higher influx of college coaches? I mean, I know at these things there's college coaches everywhere. There's hundreds of them. But did you notice more of a presence at any games you watched? I mean, that more eyeballs were particularly on?
It was actually, I did write about this,
Yeah.
the CFC 2009 game against FC Delco. And CFC 2009, they're all committed, basically, their entire lineup. So no offense to CFC, they were there to see FC Delco.
Yeah.
And I was doing some research on why, I saw everyone there,
Yeah.
all the power forward Division I coaches. And I was actually on the other sideline. So when I left midway through the second half. It was 6-0. And I walk over to leave to go to another game, and I'm like, oh my God, there's so many coaches. I didn't notice it on the other sideline. And it was Florida State, which won the national championship, and
Right.
Virginia and Iowa and Ohio
Right.
State. And I was like, oh my God, why are all these coaches here? CFC's all committed.
Yeah.
And FC Delco was nasty. And
Yeah.
they have a couple class of 2028 players
Uncommitted.
who I saw in Top Drawer,
Yeah.
the top players in their class. Prep Soccer had an FC Delco player ranked in their top 10 for their
Right.
national ranking. So that was a game that had a lot of eyeballs. And it was for FC Delco, but it was cool for CFC too. Even though they're all committed, it's
Right.
it's a cool experience playing in front of those coaches.
Yeah, and I mean, you never know with the transfer portal the way it is now. I mean, you never know. I mean, you could, you're in one place for 1 year, and we just had our transfer tracker posted last week on the men's and women's side, and there's still already right off the bat there's a bunch of movement in the college game, and there always will be. So you can always impress somebody when you're playing these games. This could be a tricky question, but as we, the regular season will ramp back up again, as we said in March. What's one main thing you're looking forward to seeing play out in the ECNL girls New England season this year?
Yeah, I think the playoff spots, because there's only 2 this year. So last year there was 4, and now there's only 2. So what does that do? It's also a 16-game regular season, so the league play is just more emphasized and more important. So I think someone's going to be left out and be unhappy.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of teams that have high aspirations and feel like they can crack the playoffs. And now with those limited spots, it's going to be more coveted. So that's an important thing for me, especially a Stars Blue team that, is obviously the strongest in the region. It's do they have one of those years where they finish third and don't get in? And it's
Right.
wow, that'd be a shock to me. But I think it's a strong league, and you have world-class and Sousa outside of New England that are always strong, and 2 of the better clubs in the region in the conference. So I think that battle for the playoff spot is going to be fun to track. And those league games here, Stars Blue 2010 open up. They have world-class on a Saturday, CFC on a Sunday to start the year. So those 2 games are huge now.
Right.
With only the 2 playoff spots, I think it just maximizes every match. So that's going to be fun to watch. And then obviously like those other things, like how is the CFC team going to do? Is Select going to take that second year jump now as an ECNL member? I think there's a lot of those storylines I'm looking forward to. But I think the region is really strong, and I'm curious to see how it all shakes out.
Great stuff. And before we get to extra time with David, I got to know what was the best meal you had down in Florida. I know you usually you find something good.
Honestly, I didn't really eat out a ton. I mean, I did. Like, I kind of went to the grocery store one night.
Yeah.
I went to Wawa one night.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, what's the other grocery store that's down there in Florida?
Publix. I got a pub sub. That was.
I remember one time I was down there, and it was like I was at the showcase until probably like 8 p.m. or so, and I got out, and for some reason I think it was like a Sunday night, and nothing was open. I feel like I probably could have gone down to that area in Sarasota, like St. Amand Circle, that has all the good restaurants.
I went there last year.
Yeah, they got some really good restaurants on there. But I was like in a rush, and I went to Publix and just got like fried chicken and coleslaw from there. And it was actually a pretty good meal. Publix, don't sleep on Publix. Get some pretty good food over there. But
yeah, I took it easy this year. Like I didn't really have like a sit down dinner.
Yeah.
I got a couple things to go, and then I had a smash burger at the field.
Oh yeah, they got some good food trucks over there.
Yeah. And then good iced coffee at the field too.
Good stuff. Stay tuned for Matt Doherty's standout meals.
Yeah, last year I went to a really good place in Bradenton, like this fish company.
Oh yeah,
it was right on the water. I should have made it back this year, but I was kind of
you were busy. You were working.
Yeah, I went to more games this year too. Yeah. I was at the field longer.
Right.
But yeah, I'll save it for next year.
That's right. We'll be better off for it because the content will be great, and it's been great. Matt's content from down in Florida, and we'll continue to recap that and set the stage for the spring ECNL season. But for now, let's send it over to David Yaz, our producer, and with his extra time.
It's the end of regulation, so let's move to extra time.
Yes, extra time. Matt and Matt bounding onto the field in their soccer uniforms. Actual footage of them after every podcast. That's what they do.
Messi and Ronaldo.
So we have
almost.
We have extra time is when I post 3 questions to each of our panelists here. Sometimes we do trivia. Today will be one of those days.
Oh no!
And so we have multiple choice trivia on names of soccer clubs across the globe.
Ooh.
Each of you get 3 questions. If you tie, there's a tiebreaker. All right.
Awesome.
We'll start
Quick
with
disclaimer. I did New York Times Sports Connections today, and they had this category.
Oh boy! So
Really?
he cheated.
Yeah, but these I'd be surprised if there's a crossover. We'll see.
I'm just saying my brain's already in that mode.
Oof, mine is not.
There's a sports version of the Connections game. Oh, I got to try that. I enjoy the Connections game. All right. We'll start with you, Langone.
Okay.
Number 1. Which English club's name literally means crazy gang? Is that A, AFC Wimbledon, B, Millwall, C, Wolverhampton Wanderers, or D, Wycombe Wanderers? I think I'm pronouncing Wycombe correct. Wycombe. A, AFC Wimbledon, B, Millwall, C, Wolverhampton Wanderers, or D, Wycombe Wanderers. Which one is the crazy gang?
I'll go with D.
D is actually what? I hit the wrong button.
That's correct.
You're correct.
Got it.
Yes,
Got it.
Well done.
Is that a guess?
That was a total guess.
I was going to say C, Wolverhampton.
Those are my 2. I had it down to C and D, and then Wycombe was tripping me up, so I'm like, that's got to be it.
Yeah, Wycombe comes from an old term meaning crooked valley, and Wanderers historically implied a team without a fixed home ground, leading to the long-running
Nailed
joke,
it.
Crazy gang.
You got your work cut out for you, Doherty.
Yeah, these are going to be hard.
All right, Doherty, which Scottish club is named after a local Christian youth group? Is that A, Hibernian, B, the Hearts, C, Celtic, or D, Queen's Park? Read it one more time. Which Scottish club is named after a local Christian youth group? A, Hibernian, B, Hearts, C, Celtic, or D, Queen's Park?
So it's not D because we're not going to do 2 D's in a row. I think Christian Youth Club means heart. What was the A answer again?
Hibernian, B, Hearts, C, Celtic, D, Queen's Park.
Celtic is too obvious, so I'm going to eliminate that one. So I'm between A or B. Christian Youth Club equates to heart. I'm going to say B.
No, it was Queen's Park. I didn't mean to put 2 D's in a row, but you outthought yourself on that one,
man.
Doherty. All right, we move back to Langone. Langone, what is the name of the Berner, B-E-R-N-E-R, the Berner Sport Club, a Swiss professional soccer team, in obviously in Switzerland? Is the name of the team A, the Young Boys, B, the Young Guns, C, the Young Turks, or D, the Young Bloods? A, Young Boys, B, Young Guns, C, Young Turks, D, Young Bloods.
I'm going to go with A, Young Boys.
Wow. Well done.
He's just pulling stuff out of his butt.
I'm locked in. I'm just locked. It's one of those days when I'm feeling it. It's like from White Men Can't Jump when Billy Hoyle was in the zone.
That's pretty appropriate comparison, actually. Yeah. All right. Back to you, Doherty. You're not dead yet. Come on, stay alive. This Dutch club is named after an insect. Is it A, Mosquito Club Zurich, B, Hornet Club Zurich, C, Grasshopper Club Zurich, or D, Ladybug Club Zurich? So it's obviously it's Club Zurich. Is it
Zurich's in Switzerland?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
Well, you said Dutch club.
Well, I don't care where they are.
Semantics.
I'm always up for
I'm all
semantics.
tripped up today.
Yeah, okay, it's in Zurich. Wait, Zurich is in Switzerland. You're right about that. Or it's Swiss. Fine. A, Mosquito, B, Hornet, C, Grasshopper, or D,
I'm going to say
Ladybug.
Hornet.
Hornet is absolutely incorrect. Sorry.
I thought you were going to get it for a
Looking
minute.
for
you know this?
Grasshopper.
No, I would not have got it, but I think I could just clinch victory.
Okay.
But this last one will be for fun.
Yes. Well, we'll play out.
What even league is that? What is it called? The Zurich Grasshoppers?
Grasshopper Club Zurich. Yes, please Google it and find out all about the Grasshoppers.
Boy.
They're in the Swiss Super League. Yeah, okay. Zurich, Switzerland.
4, 5, and 10.
Not in the Netherlands. All right. Matt Langone.
Yep.
Società Sportiva Lazio, known as SS Lazio, is an Italian soccer team, sometimes known by their nickname, which shares the name of a rock group. So is the nickname of SS Lazio A, the Doors, B, the band, C, the Eagles, or D, Genesis?
Wow.
A, you think that's easy?
I don't think that's easy. I got like 3 possibilities.
A, the Doors, B, the band, C, the Eagles, or D, Genesis.
If I get this one right,
Then
I'm looking.
I'm locking in.
then you're playing the lottery.
I'm locking in D, Genesis.
No.
I was going to say the Eagles.
That's correct.
Yeah, that was my second choice. But
Yes.
Genesis felt like the not so much an iconic band like the Eagles and the Doors, and I feel like, why is Genesis in here? But
Lazio's traditional college badge and symbol is the eagle, which was chosen by founding member Luigi B. Girelli.
Why are you fact checking me, Doherty?
No,
what he does.
I was looking up the club.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Final
Final
Doherty.
question,
You gotta
Doherty.
get one.
You save some face here,
you gotta
Doherty.
get one.
Well,
You sort of got the last
I
one.
would have got the last one
Yes,
if,
okay.
if that was directed
All
towards
right.
me.
West Ham United is also.
Okay, I know that club.
You know West Ham.
Yeah.
West Ham United is also known by this nickname. Is it A, the Bullets, B, the Warriors, C, the Hammers, or D, the Pigs?
The Pigs.
I'm gonna say the Hammers.
Final answer?
The Hammers.
The Hammers is correct.
I would have got that.
That's too obvious.
I know, that's why.
You both did very well
Man.
today. Congratulations. We have some great parting gifts for both of you.
Oh boy, thank you, David and Doherty. That's 0 for 3.
That should have got the
Man.
Hammers.
Wow.
I don't follow the Prem that well, that closely. I actually have been to the stadium though.
But do you get any sleep tonight knowing you went 0 for 3 in that quiz?
Well, the first 2 were literally impossible. Like
No, they were.
even
they were.
a diehard soccer fan's not going to know the Zurich Grasshoppers, but
That's true.
the West Ham one, that's
We can do a
embarrassing.
rematch since Langone's talking all the smack. Don't worry.
Yeah, same.
Matt D.
I like the
the ones where the ones
trivia.
Yeah.
the ones that aren't totally.
I'll celebrate
nonsensical.
my-
No, I mean,
or you
it's-
like it in general. Yeah.
I do like the trivia. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll do a rematch of that. I'll celebrate my victory until then.
I feel like we did a soccer movies one time. I
Oh,
liked
that was great.
one, but
We did.
My movie knowledge isn't great either.
Well, on the bright side, you did drop some phenomenal knowledge on us today in the podcast. So
Thank you, guys.
That's really why you were here. But Great job.
Means a lot.
Great job from Matt Doherty. And Matt, obviously, you're here with me all the time. But hey, thanks for being here again today.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you. I'm Matt Langone. Thanks for listening. New England Soccer Journal's The Goal podcast is produced by David Yaz and is a Siemens Media production.